Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Chang, are natural gas prices in Massachusetts too high?
Certainly in the winter, Senator, and I completely appreciate your concern because it is my concern as well to have affordable energy in Massachusetts and in New England because I and my family pay for those costs. And while I was in Massachusetts state government, we are deeply concerned about the costs associated, particularly with low and moderate income.
Well, that's good to hear because the behavior of the state of Massachusetts doesn't really seem to be focused on lowering the cost for people. You know, in 2018, the Washington Examiner reported that you, quote, predicted New England will move away from natural gas within the next 5 years. So that was 18. We're now beyond that. And I think you said, quote, so it's fiscally irresponsible, your words, to invest in pipelines. That article was published 6 years ago. Today, natural gas is supplying about the same share of New England's energy as it was in 2018. And you just said you support building out energy infrastructure. Does that include pipelines then?
Absolutely.
Because you didn't support it in 2018.
Well, in 2018, I was merely interviewed on a particular article, but as a
We've all been
government,
subject to being merely interviewed for articles, and we know how it
yes, we do know how that goes. And as part of the state government, however, I personally experienced what it's like to go through winters in New England, and from the governor all the way down, we nail-biting experiences to make sure that we have not only reliable service, but affordable service. And that is particularly the time when New England is more like Germany than it was like Pennsylvania in its cost and availability of natural gas.
Because
so
on
I
Monday,
care deeply about that.
On Monday, ISO New England, which keeps the grid in balance, they issued a full report that I have here, and it says New England's future grid, the future grid for New England may lack sufficient natural gas pipeline infrastructure to meet the region's winter fuel demand. You talked prices too high in the winter. The winter's fuel demand for both home heating and power generation. So it is a crisis point, potentially, for New England because of lack of pipeline availability. So in light of this fact, do you still think it's fiscally irresponsible to invest in pipelines?
I think the issue is very complex in New England, and
It's pretty simple, yes or no, with everybody saying they need more pipelines. Is it fiscally irresponsible?
Well, if I had my magic wand, I would love to have more gas infrastructure and gas supply to New England, but the issues are complicated in New England, and I look forward to an opportunity to work further on that.
If confirmed, how would you assess the scope of the Commission's authority?
Well, Ranking Member, yes, I understand that you, Congress, have given FERC important responsibility in the Federal Power Act and the National Gas Act of ensuring affordable and reliable energy through the regulated wholesale rates and mandatory reliability standards in the interstate electricity market, and also licensing efficiently needed infrastructure, including natural gas pipeline infrastructure. That's exactly what the Natural Gas Act says. These are important roles. I'd be committed to carrying them out. As I mentioned in my statement, I also think it's important to understand the role of the Commission to fulfill only those duties that Congress has delegated, because, of course, agencies don't have any independent authority. So I would consider it my duty, if I had the honor to be confirmed, to implement the laws that you, as the people's representatives, put into place.
I have a question for all three of you. Let me start with Ms. C, and then we'll go to Mr. Rosner, and then ask Ms. Chang as well. So in late January, President Biden publicly stated that the Department of Energy would stop approving new liquefied natural gas, LNG exports, for an indefinite period of time. Now, under the Natural Gas Act, the Commission is obligated to process permits for the siting, the construction, and the operation of the LNG export facilities. So I'd like to hear from each of you. If confirmed, will you commit to acting promptly on pending LNG export projects?
Yes, Senator. As you said, Congress has divided authority in this area between the Department of Energy and FERC. I understand that directive to apply to the Department of Energy's role when it comes to licensing the export. I do not understand that to change FERC's statutory responsibility when it comes to timely and efficiently processing any licensing applications that come before it.
Mr. Rosner.
Thank you for the question. FERC is independent of the Biden administration, and FERC has its own duty under the statute to review these projects. And if honored to be confirmed, I would support FERC's longstanding practice of proceeding to review applications when they're ready.
Ms. Chang.
Yes, thank you for the question. And I also understand that FERC continues to process its applications, and I look forward to, if I have an opportunity, to work with the staff and other commissioners on this topic.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator. And now we have Senator Heinrich.
Thank you, Chairman. I want to start by just making all three of you aware of an issue that